Hello everyone, this is a response for a query about the chin rest. Let's speak about the chin rest, or let's speak about the setup. Um, I don't know what my chin rest is. I chose it, and I think it's very important for you to have a very good setup of chin rest and a shoulder rest if you're using shoulder rest. Anyway, setup is very important. A lot of problems in vibrato, shifting, intonation, and even physical pain has to do with your setup of the violin. And although we are very different, everybody are different in size and strength and muscles, there are some essentials that if you follow them, you will probably have a good setup. So the first thing I want you like to kind of acknowledge is that with this one, the height and between the chin rest and the shoulder pad is almost the same. I mean, that will always be a little more, but I see sometimes people, especially with long necks, that they have this kind of very, very, very high shoulder rest and kind of a thin chin rest, and that usually means that their violin is not on their collarbone. So I would suggest that you try to make that kind of balance. You can actually add cork slices to make your chin rest go up. And if you have a long neck, then try to get a high chin rest so you can balance things out more evenly. I think it's very important. Secondly, this is not a straight. You can have like a complete straight, like plank, or you can have very deep and even grooved. Mine is kind of grooved, you see, yeah, but it's not grooved to the point that my head is only in one position. I can turn my head and feel quite comfortable, while I still feel this under my chin. So it's when I take my head back, yeah, the violin stays like kind of hooks in, not too tightly. It's very important because a lot of people are holding and pressing down with the neck forward, and this just, chiropractor's heaven. So you try to get something that is working with your head, but what you want to try is to move your head around and make sure you don't lock in and play just in one locked place, because no matter what your situation is, if you're locked, you're gonna get pain. You're not gonna be able to free yourself. So make sure that you're finding something that works with your body. I like to put my chin like in a classic form on this. There are some chin rests that go to the middle, and that's fine too, but just remember that if you put your chin in the middle, then it's gonna get a little higher for you to go to the G string. If you are a tall person and you have long arms, maybe that will be easier. I can do it with, also with technique, going above the wood, but I just prefer it this way. Definitely not this, and I've seen that as well. And so that's for this. Now, in terms of what I want from my violin, I want my violin to be able to stay upright with, like, going upwards, because the way the violin is, if this is completely parallel to the floor, then that is tilted. So in order to make that fingerboard parallel to the floor, the violin needs to be a bit higher. In order to do that, first of all, I do not twist and turn my violin and put it here, because then immediately, if you just flip it and go like that, then your violin will be in this way. Okay, I usually pick it up, turn it here, and turn it down. Okay, I use Kuhn. This is solo Kuhn. I'm not completely happy about it. It has great sound, but I think I'll go back to my old Kuhn just because of those very, very dangerous pieces of Kuhn furniture, let's call it. If that thing slams against the wood, that would probably pierce it. So I just took it for a tryout, but I think I will go back to my normal Kuhn. There are I'm not a Kun representative. I don't get money from this. This is just good for my body. There are definitely many good ones. Just make sure that your violin is absolutely stable. And I've done another video about this, but I'll say it again if you're already here. Is that I don't like to. I mean, I showed that a little bit, but I don't try the violin like this. The violin is held between the hand and the neck. And what I try to do is when I try my setup, is that I put the violin, I put a finger against the thumb, and I take my head up. Now, if the violin stays, I'm stable. But if the violin is slumping down, if I'm like this and I turn and the violin falls away, then I should change something, because you need to be able to relax your neck backwards and have a free rein with your head. And if every time you bring your head up the violin falls, it means it's falling away from you, and then you're always going to be like clumping, usually from side to side, and that's just very hard on the shoulder. The second thing is you make sure that when that happens, or even that happens, the violin doesn't fall. That is a very typical mistake, that it falls into the hand, which means very hard to detach when you vibrate, very hard to detach when you shift. So you always like that, and there's a lot of pressure, and a lot of people have this kind of hand when they basically go under, and the first finger is almost wrapped around the neck, make it very difficult to play in tune, in time, just because of the setup. And if your setup is a bit better, you'll be able to free the fingers, still give support, okay, but without that kind of awkwardness. And that's just very bad mistake. If you have that, try look at how the hand is. This is just not a very good position for a hand. All of this happens as a setup. So I hope this helps. Keep asking me questions, and hope you enjoy these videos.